Hello, and I think I need to turn down the lights. Uh, as I just wrote in the chat, I may or may not have some issues with uh, some settings, including but not limited to audio settings. Uh, so please let me know if you can see any see or hear or detect any um glitches during this stream, and I need to. Okay. Uh, okay, and I need to turn down the light. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. I had an interesting, very interesting day at work today. We have Jens and Bui saying things in the chat. We have Jens saying, "Come on, where the fuck did I just lose the fucking chat? For fuck's, come on, you gotta be fucking kidding me." Okay, okay. Have there been any glitches so far? Uh, except me being here. Jens, Bowie, let me know if there are any glitches. You can see anything, you know, funny going, funny going on. Do we have anyone in the? And I should mention, by the way, before we go, do you have anyone saying in on Discord that I'm fucking this up? Not so far, no. Okay. Uh, no. Yes, there's no glitches yet. Yes, wonderful. Because I think I noticed when I was doing some stuff during the weekend. Not during the weekend. I will be doing stuff during this weekend. All right, but how there will be. I will be doing more stuff during the weekend for this channel, and I noticed that, for example, last week. No, sorry, this week Monday. At least I just didn't just bother going any further back than Monday because I just didn't want to get more pissed off because there was apparently when I was you may or may not have noticed that I uploaded a um a video to premiere on the last Friday uh of July, uh which would be July 29th. When I was filming that, I noticed that there was uh, the something funny going on with the audio. Okay, and I used the Streamlabs OBS or the Streamlabs OBS desktop, which I use for streaming. I use it for recording as well. So I that's why I went on to watch or check the Monday's live stream because I suspected that I had some funny shit going on. My voice on Monday sounded a bit robotic, or a bit off. And I noticed that I had my microphone doubled, so the stream it sounded a bit robotic or a bit off because it was recording two tracks of microphone, two tracks of double track of the same microphone, and now it should be turned off. So yeah. Anyway, the topic for today, as you may or may not have noticed, should schools teach about LGBTQ to kids? Yes, they should. And what should they teach? Age appropriately. Age appropriately. Everything, pretty much everything that is age appropriate. Uh, I mean, as far as I can tell, um, my ex-wife's my ex-wife has two kids. Uh, at the time when we were together, the younger one was studying from grade 4 onwards, I think. Um, grade 4 or 5, but and they even then at the age of 10, 11, 10, 11, 12, they talk about queer stuff, but about LGBT plus Q plus people, and they had a gay man come in and talk about it. What it's actually like. All this stuff is in the official curriculum. Um, sure, we do have some um, some private schools, but those are a tiny minority. Everything else, all and homeschooling is almost unheard of. But these private schools, private and public school system, and the private schools, they must comply with the national curriculum, and that curriculum nowadays does include um, talking about and teaching kids about LGBTQ. This wasn't this hasn't always been the case. Almost at gays, this has been this wasn't so, and especially long ago. But there are still places where, even in Finland, a developed country, um, there are places in this country. Um, if you go just a bit further to small towns, etc., when you have to go and actively search for a person that is not member of a certain revivalist group, fundamentalist Christian revivalist group, which is a very prominent up north. So it's not shouldn't be taken for granted, but of course the teachers there tend to be, uh, and all other teachers except the those who teach religion. And we have mandatory religion lessons, whether that be Lutheran Christianity, Jehovah's Witnesses, Islam, Judaism, etc. It's mandatory. It's mandatory to study certain religion, your own religion, and if you come from an atheist family, you go to these ethics lessons, if you will. And it was a big deal. Anyway, when I went to school, like elementary school, uh, this would have been in a small industrial town, um, uh, back in back in the 90s. So, and at the time, it wasn't part of the, national curriculum that each and every single teacher in this country must stick to. Like, it's not like the teachers can pick and choose. Um, it's like choose if you it's picking and leaving out this talk this talk of teaching about the LGBTQ issues is like choosing not to teach the kids to read and write. It's mandatory. You must teach them to read and write. You must teach them calculus and algebra when they're a bit older. Um, so yes, it should be from a it should be something that to be taught from a very young age on. So that's it. Yeah, it should be taught, and what should be taught? It should be taught, and what about it? Everything, everything necessary and age appropriately. Oops, sorry. Okay, just kidding. Also, when talking about LGBTQ, uh, we mustn't forget the sex ed. Uh, sex ed. I don't know where when it starts. It probably starts at around the same time, around grade 5 and 6 here in Finland. Which kids go to school in Finland. Kids go to school at the age of 7, or start grade 1, the elementary school, the grade 1 at they go to preschool at the age of 6, and the actual school, uh, primary school, elementary school, whatever you want to call it, grade 1 at the age of 7. Typically, some kids, uh, some parents may choose to send their kid to school at the age of 6, grade 1, but this child must go through all sorts of maturity tests that the child is mature enough to go to school at the age of 6. um, and this has been the case for a very long time. For example, my dad went to school at the age of 6, uh, and this was in the 60s. So, but hang on, this would have been in late 60s. So something like 67, 68, something like that. So it's been around for a while. But the teaching of LGBTQ plus hasn't been around even maybe 20, not even 20 years. I mean, my secondary school, from 2000 onwards, would have been no talk of from the school part. However, this was an international school abroad, in Belgium, in Brussels. I lived there for 4 years. And then for high school, as for high school in Finland, I at that point I moved back to Finland. Not that I can remember that much would have been talked about it. And I graduated from high school a, a bit late, a year later. Typically, you graduate from high school or your vocational college, to, as an electrician, etc. At the age of 19. I was 20 years old when I was just shy of my we just a few days before my 20th birthday. So this would have been in 2007, and I don't recall. And again, this was a small school in a mid in a in an in a relatively big big town. So I don't recall any queer issues being discussed in class. So it has come about in the past 15 years. And I just turned 35, so it's been 15 fucking years since I graduated high school. It's been, I know many of you have it, for many of you it's been longer. But yes, I was told that what was a few years ago being taught in an elementary school in, say, grades 4, 5, 6, maybe 5 and 6, 4, 5, 6, something like that. They actually had quite a lot, because the sex ed starts from year 5, uh, because reasons, because some girls, uh, speaking of girls, there's a woman there. She appeared. She just came in through the door. What if I'm not a woman? What if I'm not a woman? Mm. Mm. Oh, uh, about cute anyway. She's cute. Yes, I love her very dearly. And this is cute. That's Stefan and Bertil also. Okay, so basically, sex ed starts from about grade 5 because many many girls may already start having their period at that age. Basically, say at the age of 11, 12, 11, 12 girls, some girls at age 12, many girls have already started their period. Um, so they they just gotta start talking about it at school. I remember, um, the weird thing is that boys are not told anything about the the menstrual cycle. At least weren't at the time. I doubt it has changed a lot in these past 20 something years. So I was clueless uh, until about the menstrual cycle until I was an adult. So at that point, it should be made clear to these children that that it's okay if you if you are attracted to the same sex. Other boys or other girls, you're attracted to them. It's okay. That is normal. That people like that exist. Uh, out that there are others, and that is normal. Because it causes quite a lot of anxiety because you see other your classmates, most of whom I would assume from a class of 20 or 25, you would assume that with big probability it the other kids are straight, but it's also, and you do not feel the same way at at the age of, say, 12, 13, 11, 12, 13. Many gay people and many trans people know say that they've known since childhood, but no one told them that it's normal. Uh, Bowie says teaching LGBTQ plus subjects helps to ease the trans community because once people are educated, their discrimination on LGBTQ plus community starts to diminish. Diminish, yes, diminish is the word what we're looking for here. I hope there won't be any sounds because I don't want to another copyright ID, content ID claims. Anyway, also when age appropriate, I think children should be taught about trans people because uh, being trans is normal, as we all know. Okay, I may be a bit weird person, but that has nothing to do with me being trans. I'm not inherently evil because I'm trans. Being trans doesn't make me evil or sick, nor does it. Yeah, booze a sorry typo spelled diminish wrong. That happens. Um, so yeah, kids should be taught about it. Jen says back in my school days, we weren't educated about LGBTQ plus topics, but that was back in the 70s and 80s. Yes, that would explain. Um, especially um, especially given your which given which country you grew up in. So I wouldn't be too surprised that nothing like that happened. And this wouldn't educating, giving neutral education about normalizing, saying that it is normal. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to be trans. The lack of that has caused the amount of hate, the amount of hate and the transphobia, trans and homophobia we have, we can see especially strong in the pardon me, the United States of America. So Tucker Carlson, Ted Cruz, etc. So and there will be a video about all that hatred coming from the trans and homophobes. I have a video in the pipeline. With I have agreed. I am making arrangement. I have arrangements in place to make a video or about that, but I will tell you more about that later. Jens said that it was gay or normal. I'm glad those times are over. Yes, I'm glad to. Even though it was still be a gay or normal, and if you were gay, it was you were pretty much beaten to normal. If you weren't normal, you were beaten to normal. If you were showed any tendencies, and you were heavily discriminated against at that point, then okay. Just a moment. Yes. Pardon me. Uh, there was computer issues. Uh, okay. Where was I? I I think I forgot. You know. Yes. The games were glitchy. So okay. But yes, trying teaching it that it's normal helps. Okay. And there is also the sex ed. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. Why do I have this? Uh, okay. Sex ed is also making LGBTQ inclusive content is also important because not in many cases it's not enough that you teach say okay being gay is normal because the sex ed is hugely heteronormative. Okay. Oops. There we go. This was from filming. Filming actually. Where in the good oh dear good lord. Oh dear good lord have mercy on my soul. Oh, good lord. Do I even have my camera here? No, I don't. But regardless. Um having this is from americanprogress.org, okay? Because it doesn't all help in the sexual health wise that you tell that being gay is okay because it's you have because the sex ed given in schools is typically quite heteronormative, so therefore it tells they tell you only how to have safe straight sex, straight gay sex. So sorry, safe straight sex. You also have to have um, inclusive uh, sex ed because ha- doing safe gay sex is quite different, quite different from it. Well, can be quite different from safe straight sex. So, um, and as well, if you are men who have sex with men, women who have sex with women, or those who have women who those who have a vulva have sex with those with also a vulva, could be a trans man, non-binary, etc., or a cis woman. That's a bit different from having, uh, penis and vagina straight sex. How to protect in oral sex. Um, what should be taken into account when having anal sex, etc., etc., uh, etc., and also talked about uh, sex ed about the STDs that or STIs or whatever you want to call them, but that there is nothing to be ashamed of if you get like if you get a chlamydia, gonorrhea, and gay and having HIV is no longer a death sentence. You will die. with good medication, you will die of old age. You won't typically nowadays you can live a long life, with HIV without dying of AIDS. You can die of something completely unrelated. For example, a stroke not related to that, a cancer not related to HIV, like typical cancers would includes, but are not limited to Kaposi sarcoma, etc. You can live a long life and die of old age, but there's still a stigma. It's okay to get. I mean, you shouldn't. I do not encourage in having unprotected sex. No, please, please, people, have safe sex. If you have sex, do it safely. But if it so happens that you happen to get contract HIV, chlamydia, gonorrhea, etc., it's okay. I mean, those things can be treated with modern medicine, so it's okay to have one. Uh, so there shouldn't be a stigma. There shouldn't be a stigma to that, having STIs or being trans or gay, and all this all these stigma is something that can be alleviated with education. Um, and this education starts, this whole is cumulative. And this education should start in elementary school, like in Finland, from grades four, like five, 5 and 6 onwards. And gay shouldn't be an insult. Shouldn't be an insult anymore. So it shouldn't be an insult, and that you can reduce. So that you can change with education. I'm gonna keep this a shorter one today, but I will link this link this page to the American Progress website. Okay. Okay, there we are. It's in the description box below now. And I think there is someone I need to tag here in the description in this, because this person has a birthday. Okay. Yes, Mr. 42, a channel friend, has has his birthday, and his birthday comes about, if I'm not completely mistaken, it comes about on Monday, and he link to his channel is in the description box down below. And if you refresh the stream page, you'll find them there. And also, big thank you to Flems. Flems has been my faithful patron for many months now. It's a shame he's there now, alone. But perhaps those watching at some those a few dozen who watch. Oops. Those few dozen who watch this. I hope get you go and check over my Patreon, and there's fun stuff there. Like this. That's starting from 3 euros, 3 euros a month. Yeah. Okay. And this has been Stefan and Bertil, and of course the little lamb I was given by Jens, always hanging there. Oops. Oi, oi, oi. Always hangs there with me. And I will see you on Monday.